talk, gentlemen, about the Xbox Partner Showcase. Now, obviously, they had one in March. They had one last October. The one this past March was, I think I gave it an 8.0 or 7.5. I don't really remember, but I went over the list of games, and it's a lot of games in there. Obviously, they also added, they added the fact that the Persona 3 Reloaded DLC was going to be free for all Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers. That's a big deal. But we're starting to hear, they're rumblings. Now, has anything been confirmed of what those world premieres are? I haven't heard a thing. I have heard that they're keeping it super close to the vest. So what does that tell me, Hargeet? That it could be something special. Now, again, it's no first party. But I think Psychonauts, who's in the chat, said during when he was on with Mav the other day that his pick, because he was asked, is going to be something Square related. I think Square is going to announce something Final Fantasy there. That's just me, and I'm gonna rest on that. But he had actually brought up a great theory, Hargeet. He said that it would be cool, and again, I don't know if it's possible, on an announcement from Toys for Bob, who is now considered third party. They're a partner, right? They're a partner. They're not owned by Microsoft. They're not, anymore. They let them go do their own thing. What are you expecting at the show? Because again, there are certain people like me that are very excited. It's an Xbox show. Why wouldn't I be? Yes, it is going to be third party. Are most of these games probably going to show up on a Switch or PS5? Absolutely. I don't doubt that at all. But you don't know if any of these games are going to be in Xbox Game Pass. And there might be some Game Pass deals, but they did specifically say there was going to be a few world premieres. What are you thinking, man?
So, I think one of the ones that I don't know if they even mentioned it, but Towerborn has this early access preview thingamabobby happening in Steam right now, right?
Right.
And that is due for release. I don't know if they'll do that in the Dev Direct, or they can announce it here and say, hey, it's launching in January or something, whatever it is, right? On Xbox, right? That would be one of the potentials. It's like kind of lingering there. Contraband is one that we haven't heard from in a while. That is something that maybe is ready to go. There have been other games we've heard rumors of, but haven't actually been announced in any way, right? So it could be one of those, like the Wu-Tang,
yes.
game. I don't know if Project Dragon's still a thing or not, but the one with IO, if that's still happening, right? There's just these other
games. They've gone
super
silent on that, dude. We haven't heard anything.
So there's a potential for any, but here's the thing: if it's too large, you want to wait to your showcase, right?
Yeah.
But also there's a problem, right? As they said, we had more content than we could fit. They might have to move things to here because they just couldn't fit it in the showcase, right? So it could be some of those. I would hold off on Toys for Bob just because it's so recent that I don't think they'd have anything ready. I think it would be asking too much for them to have concept art done to the level where you can say, let's have a trailer. I think they need to cook for a couple of years before they can give you something. That's just my thoughts.
I agree. No, I agree. That's a good point.
So I would say hold off on Toys for Bob. But it could be other of these, they said they were working with Japanese developers on some content that's going to be exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
It could be one of those. Though I would have thought that would be a TGS. That would be the right place for that for me. But it could be. It could be something that's coming here. They've mentioned Square, correct? They mentioned Square is going to be there.
Yes.
So if they are, then what's left? We got all the Final Fantasies from before. What about the other ones? There's only so many things you haven't put over there yet. So I'm gonna guess it's one of those, unless they have a big game coming that I missed. It sounds like it's probably gonna be one of those. We're missing 7 remake and rebirth, and we're missing 16. It's probably 16. I mean, again, this is just a guess, but what else could it be, right? What else are we missing? Is it like a Dragon Quest or something? Is there maybe it's a Kingdom Hearts update? But gosh, that would be a big thing to put here, right? But okay, maybe it is, because that is another thing that's still in the works. But yeah, I mean, if Square is coming out, I would just expect maybe that is what's going to happen, right? That was one of the big announcements we were waiting for. Is like, oh, that didn't happen.
Yeah,
We got the
it
Pixel
didn't.
remasters. We got the Mana games. We did not get, the
Final
big
Fantasy.
FF16,
Yeah.
right? So maybe that's what happens. But I think there'll be other smaller things. I wouldn't expect this to be massive AAA things. It could be, but I wouldn't expect it to be that. But updates on things that are coming.
Yep.
Right. There's still games to come, and they can certainly showcase those. One that's coming out. Is it the same day? Unknown 9, is that coming out? And they were marketing that, if I remember right? Right.
Yes.
Unknown 9, that was them.
Yes, that's
right.
Yep.
So, or was it Jeff? I think it was them, right?
No,
So,
it
that's a game I'm
it
looking
was
forward to.
actually Unknown 9 was actually at the last one in March.
Yeah, so that one would be a great one to say, hey, it's coming out today, tomorrow, whatever it is, right? And here's the latest gameplay trailer, blah, right? So that could be another one. There's plenty of those kind of games that are about to come out. There's Expedition 33, I think it was.
Yes.
There was 33 Immortals. Right, they have those two. They already mentioned, I think, the Wu Chang game, right? That's already there. So those are the kind of games. There's many little updates that we're kind of waiting on. There's another one that's like been absent for a while. Is Hollow Knight. I don't. Yeah, it's just been right. Silk Song, right? It's just been absent for a while. We got that announcement. Was it like 3 years ago? It's been a while, right?
It's been a while. Yep.
It's like, is that ready to roll? Maybe there's something coming up there, right? So those, like, I would expect to see those smaller games, right? Smaller in that they're indies, they're not like the massive AAAs, but they're going to be big games anyway. So that's what I'm looking at, right? There's plenty of these other third-party things, that they've been working on with that are their own kind of games. I guess they're kind of Xbox-y exclusive things. That they could be there, right? So there's plenty of other studios that we're working with. So any one of those. But I don't. Yeah, I don't know what else. Like, it's 25 minutes, 30 minutes. So it's not going to be like
it's 25 minutes.
Things, but
yeah.
But hey, like, hopefully it's enough stuff. And I also look for those Game Pass drops. Those are the most fun part of it, right? Coming to Game Pass. So like, but that's kind of what I would expect, right? So there's going to be some indies. Maybe a couple of big things coming to Game Pass. Infinite Wealth wasn't really announced there to be coming to Game Pass, and it's kind of due if they're going to do it. Right. So this is probably a time to announce that. Sega's in there, I think. Right. So that might be another thing.
They're bringing the new trailer for Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yep. But I would love to see Infinite Wealth dropped into Game Pass. That'd be awesome.
Dope, dude. Yeah.
So that's another potential. Was it Dragon Age comes out at the end of the month, right? And they're marketing that one. Maybe they show another trailer, but I think we've seen it enough times, but I'm not sure. Maybe they show another trailer. What else? I mean, like, those are the things that come to mind, right? So I like, it's going to be the stuff that's coming out right now, or new stuff that's coming out early next year, like stuff like that, right? So before that March showcase, right?
Stalker 2 is going to be there. That's been confirmed also.
That is third party. That's right. Stalker, right? That's third party. So there you go, right? So that's another one that should be showing up. That's November, right? Early November.
November 20th. Yeah.
So late November. So cool. So but that's cool. I think people have been previewing that. I think I saw Destin put out something about that, right?
Yep.
So
talked to a few people also behind the scenes that have gotten their hands on it as well. So yeah, it's what I'm hearing is great things.
Yep. So I mean, those are my thoughts. Hopefully it'll be good. We'll see what they give us, but I'm looking for those Game Pass announcements, and I'm sure there'll be a fun set of games to go over. But tomorrow 1:00, right? 1:00 Eastern.
Well, when I'm in the airport, I'll be watching it while I wait to jump into my plane. But Asante, before we wrap up today's show, I do want to get your hot takes on this because you and I are super fans of hip hop, obviously. And the Wu-Tang Clan game, we don't know what it's going to be, but it's supposedly a side scroller, beat 'em up, RPG, action adventure type of thing. Take my money, please. I don't care if I have to buy it. If there's a deluxe edition that gives you a pair of gold headphones, I'm buying it. It's fine. that could be there. But you know what else is interesting? I didn't hear anyone talk about this. I'm an OG Sega fan. And when I heard and saw with my own eyes what they're doing with Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Shinobi, Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, they've been working on this stuff for a minute. And I got to tell you something. This would be a great opportunity to drop one of these games. And like I said, I don't even care if they're in Game Pass. Just put them out so we can buy them. I'm buying every one of them. I don't even care. But I'd love to see an update to what's going on with the quote unquote super games. This could be an opportunity.
Absolutely it could. Absolutely it could. You've heard me say many a times that every show they do needs to be their biggest show. I hate the idea that, temper your expectations. They have enough studios now. They have enough bullets in the chamber now that every show that you hear they're doing should include something that blows your wig back. It could be, temper, and then they throw something crazy over the finish line, like something just wild that you wouldn't expect, right? Even if it's a JPEG, just to be like, yep, we're doing that shit, right? Like they are in third place, right? If they want us to continue to be sexy and relevant, that's how they need to move. They need to move that every show. It doesn't matter what show we do. It needs to be the baddest show you've ever seen, right? So with that in mind, I hope they go into this show and do far better than they've done before, right? You got Tina and the crew working their magic. They are beyond reproach at this
blessing
point.
in disguise, brother.
That's right. They're beyond reproach at this point. I expect that at least the UI UX of it all will be beautiful and the pacing will be clean. I just hope they lean on their strengths, right? That's what I'm looking for. There have been lots of rumor and speculation abound. I haven't heard anything that I believe just yet, right? I've heard that people talk about loopholes about ABK being third party because ABK is for the streets, as it were. So maybe we see ABK stuff, and I'm like, I don't know about that, right? But Silksong I have heard a very strong, hey, is this the year? But again, it happens every year. Every year is, anytime there's a partner showcase, is this the year? I look forward to seeing them living more up to their potential because they just have, as Hargeet was saying, they just have so many games to potentially show in varying states of showing it that they can't put them all in that big show. So what parts of that big show end up here? There needs to be some, right? Because every time they put a show together, it needs to be the best. I mean, it needs to surprise people. It can't always be LA all the time. It needs to surprise people.
I agree.
And I feel like in the third party realm, right? Maybe you release Replaced now because that's third party, right? Maybe you finally put a date down on Replaced for us. Say, hey, it's coming out. Is there a shadow drop of some kind of a game that we didn't know we wanted, right? And of course, as Hargeet was saying, which I completely agree with, the fun part is the day one released on Game Pass, right? And there's a lot of that, both AAA and indie alike. So, like, I don't have any particular one game because I've heard some rumor and speculation. Like I said, I don't believe any and all of them, but I just want them to leave people's mouths open. That's what I
agree. You're not wrong. And I think that, you bring up a great point. They're in a position to do that. Like there shouldn't be ever moving forward with what they have already announced, who they're working with and what they're working on that we're aware of. You got to remember, we know a lot. This roadmap is dense and that involves a lot of moving parts. So we know what's happening. What's interesting and fascinating at the same time is what we don't know and what they're working on that they haven't talked about. So you're right. Every time Xbox has a, indie showcase or an Xbox partner preview event or a first party event, they need to just let it all hang out because they can do it.
Every show is a show where you and obviously not this show because it's called the Partner Showcase, but in general, every show is a show you ask, is this the show where Everwild comes back? Is this the show when they finally unveil the full-fledged aspects of Fable? Is this the show where they finally, right, talk about Contraband? When you talk about a roadmap, it's not something that happened yesterday. They have been laying that groundwork for years now. Code names that we have forgotten about, right? But they've presumably continued to be working on these projects. So when do they come back in a big way? Right? When do you turn around? They have just a showcase. Oh yeah, this will just be a couple of games on Game Pass, and then they slap you across your face with something that you did not expect, and that just leaves your mouth agape, like they did on any given Sunday when they told you that Halo was going to Unreal, right?
Yeah.
Like they still have that capability to surprise and delight. I'm looking forward to them doing that every year.
When is the event where they're going to announce Banjo-Kazooie? Because I think it's going to happen soon. Now, we'll see.